Hello, and welcome to the MS Accounting Orientation. My name is Jennifer Johnson, and I am the Director of the Graduate Accounting Program here at the University of Texas at Dallas and the Naveen Jindal School of Management. I want to welcome you to our conversation. Before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about the people who are here to help you along your journey. First off, you're listening to me, the Director of the program. Another very important person who you will interact with often is Melissa Palmer. She is our program coordinator and is a great help to students scheduling classes as well as planning your career and learning about the CPA. Amy Troutman is our area coordinator, and she is responsible for both the graduate and the undergraduate areas of accounting. Essentially, Amy's my boss. And I also want to introduce you to Mary Beth Goodrich. Mary Beth is one of our lecturers here and helps us with CPA and graduate school advising. She is also the Ascend faculty advisor, as you may interact with her in that student organization. So welcome to the MS Accounting program at the University of Texas at Dallas. And let's take a few minutes to talk about the program and help you get oriented and understand your degree. Now, you might be a little bit confused starting off. We use two different terms here. One is an academic advisor, and the other one is a program advisor. I am a program advisor. Those of us who work in accounting and who speak directly about accounting, about the accounting courses, about the CPA exam, are all considered program advisors. You also have an academic advisor. Your academic advisor is located on the second floor of the Jindal School of Management in the overall advising office for the school. Your academic officer, or your academic advisor, I should say, is the person responsible for admitting you and helping you along the way with registration, degree audits, adding or dropping classes, and ultimately responsible for making sure that you graduate. So they help us with all the administrative details. If you change majors, if you need to delay your admission, if you need to deal with any administrative procedures, the academic advising office is where you should go. On the Jindal website at jindal.utdallas.edu, there is a link at the top for advising. If you click on Contact, you will see a list of all the graduate advisors. Those graduate advisors can meet with anybody from any program here in the School of Management and are separated by the first letter of your last name. So I suggest you get to know your academic advisor as well as spending time with us, your accounting program advisors. As I said, we're located here on the fourth floor in the Jindal School of Management, and we help you with CPA planning. We help you understand the concentrations. We help you make sure that you've got your schedule set up accordingly in terms of prerequisites or classes that make sense grouping together. And we also help with accounting issues. So anything related to any of your accounting coursework, if you have an issue or a concern, we would be the people you come to. So with that little bit of a difference explained, let's talk about the accounting program. A lot of people, when you say, I'm going to be an accountant, they go, well, why are you doing that? And my answer to that is, why not? Accounting is the foundation in the language of business. And so we use this phrase, the language of business, and refer to the fact that you are now part of our conversation. Every business at the end of the day wants to know how much money it has made. How much profit it is turning? What does it cost to produce a product? What are our financial statements looking like? All of that information is inherent in students who have accounting degrees. Whether or not you actually end up working in the details of accounting or tax, this foundation of accounting is going to be transferable and important to you throughout your entire lifespan. Perceptions of accountants are people who are trustworthy, who are ethical, and who have a broad knowledge of business and a very good detailed understanding of financial statements. So you are joining an exciting profession, which is plan to have some very exciting growth over the next few years. The Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts that employment of accountants and auditors is going to grow by 22% over the next 10 years. And we think that that is fantastic. It's very exciting for us. And it was also listed as one of the 50 best careers in 2011 by U.S. News and World Reports. So when your friends and family look at you and say, "Why accounting?" your answer should really be, "Why not?" When you join us for your master's degree in accounting, you're joining us for a journey. And we refer to this journey, as short as it may be, as a process from when you begin with us from the application all the way through to becoming an alumnus of UT Dallas. I'm going to talk to you specifically about your classes and your studying. We're going to have other modules for you about student involvement, your CPA exam, and your job search. And then upon graduation, you will become a distinguished alumni of UT Dallas, and that is a growing population and a very strong network that will only serve to benefit you in future times. So your journey begins with taking your classes and understanding your degree plan, and I want to take a minute to walk through that degree plan right now. The total degree plan for your MS degree in accounting is 36 credit hours. At first glance, you think 36 seems like a lot. It will be over before you know it. In a blink of an eye, you will be walking across that stage and obtaining your master's degree. So we have to put a whole lot of stuff into these next 1 or 2 years that you're with us. Some of our students are part-time. Some of our students are full-time. Some of our students have families. Some do not have families and are here on an international visa. So your journey is going to be very unique to you. And in the course of that journey, there are 36 credit hours that you need to obtain in order to walk across that stage and obtain your diploma as a master's in accountant. You have 12 hours of what we call required business core classes. This includes a quantitative methods class, or really a statistics class. It requires the choice between an economics or a finance class, the choice of an information systems class or an operations management class, and financial statement analysis. Those 12 hours are required for every student who is going to get an MS in accounting. I often get the question, do I have to take those classes first? The answer is no. Just because they're listed here first does not mean you have to take them first. As we plan your unique and individual schedule, we'll decide what order these classes should be done in. The next 6 hours of your 36 hours are required accounting core classes, Intermediate 1 and Intermediate 2. Some of you are coming to us with accounting degrees from other U.S. universities, and we may look at whether or not we can waive these required accounting core classes for you. Regardless, you are required to have a knowledge and a foundation in accounting, which includes Intermediate 1 and Intermediate 2. And your last 18 hours is going to be an accounting concentration. Don't let the word concentration fool you. It's not a place where you're going to lock yourself into a specific plan of work. Really, a better word for this is accounting electives. You must take 18 graduate MS accounting hours, meaning accounting courses that start with a 6, and achieve 18 hours of study in that area of accounting. These are your 36 hours and the foundation of your MS accounting degree. Some students come to us knowing exactly what they want to do. If you're that student and you know for sure that you want to take a focus in taxation, or you want to take a focus in internal audit, we've laid out some possible ways to do that, to capitalize on all of our courses in those areas and make that fit within your 18 credit hours of your, quote, electives or concentration. If you don't know where you want to go, or if you want to pick and choose a little bit of each one of these, that is fine as well. A little secret I can share with you is there's nowhere in the computer system that tells me what your concentration is. These are unique and personal to you, and you get to make this up as you go. I highly recommend, though, that you choose one sooner rather than later, because it's these classes that are either going to help you prepare for the exam and or help you prepare for your career. Remember, 36 hours goes quickly, so you need to start thinking from day one what it is you want to do when you finish this degree. What kind of internship do you want? What kind of job do you want? Use those choices and that decision to help you plan your courses, and we will help plan right along with you. Some of you, when you applied to the program, you were notified about prerequisites. So let me take a step back. Our accounting program does have two unique prerequisites. One of them is a calculus prerequisite, and that is fairly standard among many of our master's degrees and MBA here in the Jindal School of Management. All of our applicants were required to have a B or better in calculus or its equivalent to satisfy this prerequisite. If you did not satisfy it, your admission letter to the Jindal School of Management and your particular program will notify you of that, and it will state specifically in that letter that you must complete this quantitative foundations course in your first semester in order to meet this prerequisite. No news is good news from this state, and if your letter does not mention this, then that means you have met the calculus prerequisite and you can move on from here. The other requirement that is program specific to accounting is the need to have a basic understanding of accounting. You must have had and completed successfully with a B or better Introduction to Financial Accounting and Introduction to Managerial Accounting. If you completed specific courses here at UTD, maybe you had specific classes in your undergraduate degree, or maybe you took them at a community college, we will be reviewing your background and your transcripts. And when you come to register for the first time, when you meet with your academic advisor, you will be notified whether or not you have met those prerequisites. In the back of your mind, if you have an accounting bachelor's degree, you can pretty much assume you've met those requirements. If you have a general business degree that would have included some accounting coursework, you may have met these requirements, and we'll need to review those and talk to you about it. If you do not have an accounting degree at all, have never seen an accounting class in your life, you're pretty sure that you don't have those requirements and will need to take these two classes, Accounting 6201 and 6202, in your first semester to meet the prerequisites. Questions we often get about these prerequisites are, do classes taken to meet a prerequisite count towards your degree? And the answer to that is no. These are not included in your 36 hours. They are needed to be taken before you can start accumulating some of your coursework. And do the prerequisites count towards required enrolled hours under a visa? If you're an international student and you will be here on perhaps an F1 visa, you are required to enroll in 9 credit hours in a long semester, meaning spring or fall term. Those 9 credit hours must be towards your degree. Therefore, if you need to meet the accounting prerequisites or the calculus prerequisite, we'll need to work with you on how to make that schedule the most effective and efficient to successfully achieve those goals. Don't panic. It doesn't mean that you will be taking up to, 15 hours, 18 hours in your schedule the first semester. We will figure out the best way to make this work and keep you within the rules of your required visa. With the prerequisites out of the way, let me answer a couple other common questions that we get from our new graduate students. What's considered full-time? Well, in graduate school, 9 credit hours is considered full-time enrollment. This differs from U.S. undergraduate degrees where 12 hours is typically considered full-time. Most of our students take a course load of 9 to 12 hours if they're going to be full-time. You may also be a part-time student. Remember, though, if you're on an international visa, there are some requirements for your enrollment. But if you're a part-time student not on a visa, you could take 3 or 6 credit hours as well. I mentioned this already, but I want to revisit it. The business core classes, do you have to take them first? No, you do not. Some of our students actually save some of their business core to the end and finish that up after they have finished all of the required accounting classes and their accounting electives. As I was reviewing the degree plan, some of you may have noticed classes that seem similar to something you took as an undergraduate. If that's the case, you may request that we look at and process a waiver for you. A waiver form does not reduce the number of credit hours you must take for your master's degree. However, it does give you the potential to release a required course and replace it with another class with the same prefix. So, for example, if you already took an accounting information systems in your undergraduate program, you took it within the past 6 years and you got a B or better, you may request that we waive the accounting information system requirement at the graduate level. We will review the form, we will review the course that you are letting us know that you got the knowledge in, and make a decision within that semester whether or not that class will be waived. You must have waiver documents on file, and these waivers must be completed in your first semester here with us in order for the waiver to be eligible. So let me review this again. A waiver, if you think you have a class that seems similar to something that is required, you will process a waiver request form, and we will review whether or not to release the requirement from your degree plan. If we release the requirement, you must replace that class with another class of the same prefix. So for example, if you want us to waive the econ class, then you must take either finance or another econ class. Another question we often get has to do with transfers. If you have already taken graduate coursework, and this only applies to taking graduate coursework, if you've taken similar graduate coursework at another university, we may have the ability to transfer in some classes. You can only transfer in 9 credit hours into your MS degree. The class that you have taken must have made a B or better and must have been completed in the past 6 years. A transfer will reduce the number of credit hours that you have to take within the degree plan. A transfer request form will have to be completed within your first semester, and we will review that and notify you whether or not the transfer was accepted. I want to take a minute and look at a sample schedule. This is a very specific schedule about one specific situation, but gives you an idea of what somebody's schedule might look like. Your scenario and your information will vary depending on your situation and your background, but I want to review one sample with you right now. This is just one suggested course plan for somebody who has interest in sitting for the CPA exam. This is also targeted towards an international student or a full-time student who wants to take 9 credit hours or who is required to take 9 credit hours in a long semester. So remember, the MS Accounting degree is 36 credit hours. This is assuming a student has an accounting background or a business undergrad. With this accounting background, I'm also making the assumption that you did not waive Intermediate 1 or Intermediate 2. Quite often we do not waive Intermediate 1 or Intermediate 2 for our international students, as their accounting coursework was not done on the basis of US GAAP and was not done in English. So it's very important for our students to make sure that they are taking and understanding US GAAP coursework and done in the premise of English. So this schedule I have here shows what it would look like to get 36 credit hours, taking 9 hours every semester, and I have also worked in some optional electives. When you take a minute to look at the CPA information orientation slides that we've provided, you will learn that there are a lot of specific requirements to sit for the CPA exam in Texas. Some of you may choose that route and want to be licensed through the state of Texas, and we've identified on this schedule courses that you might want to add into your schedule in order to best meet the Texas requirements. Also, you may have some waivers or some other classes that you've taken that will make this look a little bit different. So again, this is just a very brief overview of one possible way to schedule out your classes, also identifying some possible accounting electives as well as optional electives or items required to sit for the CPA exam. Notice here in the fall semester, I have Accounting 6330, which is Intermediate 1, Accounting 6343, which is Accounting Information Systems, and Accounting 6351, which is Individual Tax. All great courses that are required for the exam, for the CPA exam, as well as 2 of your accounting or business core courses here. I also mentioned that if you are interested in sitting for the exam in the state of Texas, you will want to also register for Accounting 6203. It is an 8-week, 2-credit-hour class, which meets the requirements for accounting communications through the state of Texas. In your spring semester, I've outlined another 9 hours. Intermediate 2, which is the follow-on from Intermediate 1. Corporate Tax, which is the follow-on from Individual. And the auditing class, which will help you have prerequisite knowledge for the audit part of the CPA exam. I also highly recommend an elective of governmental or non-for-profit accounting as part of the information you need to know for the CPA. If you are sitting through the state of Texas, you should register for the Accounting Ethics class, which is a 3-credit-hour, 8-week class. In your summer semester, if you are here, I suggest you take Financial Statement Analysis, OPRE, which is your Quantitative Methods class, and Advanced Financial Reporting. This will give you 9 credit hours. Some of you may choose to take a business law class as well as a cost accounting class. Now, I'm suggesting this for summer. Not everybody is required to take summer classes. That is completely your choice. If you choose not to take summer classes or intern in the summer, then we'll just move this schedule out a little bit, and your summer becomes fall, and then your fall becomes the next spring. But again, I wanted to provide you just a summary overview of what a possible schedule might look like. Scrolling down to your last semester, I have identified in the fall semester, you should complete your accounting or business core requirements with either economics or finance, and perhaps you want to take a CPA review class, or you may take some other accounting electives. This is again just some basic information, a general overview of how your schedule might look. I've stated on here the requirements to sit for the exam in the state of Texas, as well as prerequisite courses for the CPA review course. Take a look at this. This is just a sample, and as you come and arrive to register for classes and go through your schedule in particular, we will meet a schedule and a program that fits best for you. We have looked at a lot of information around your degree plan, and let me tell you a little bit about next steps that you should do. Review our Careers in Accounting on our MS Accounting website. This will go through all of the different areas of accounting. It might help you then choose a concentration or a path of classes. You should meet with one of the program advisors here on the 4th floor to talk about your plans and your classes. And then you should meet with your academic advisor to register and review and enroll in your classes. Every semester thereafter, you should review and adjust your plan. Come back to see us. Go back and visit your academic advisor. You should do this every semester or every other semester to make sure that you are still on track. Those 36 hours are going to go by quickly, and you're going to be very busy. And I want to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. Thank you for your time. Welcome to our MS Accounting program, and I look forward to meeting you soon and working with you on your journey here at UT Dallas.